How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let's jump. Let's jump straight into it.
All my brothers and sisters throughout the whole planet, we are solar-based beings. We are a prokaryotic species. All of us throughout the whole planet. And everybody outside of us has animal DNA, or they're classified as a eukaryotic species because they have a nucleus. And you can splice into that nucleus with ultraviolet light and take genetic information out or chromosomes out and put genetics information in or a chromosome in. This is why their species is classified as a multicellular organisms. This is why they have multiple chromosomes, because they have different genetic information from different animals to make up the organism that they have, which is what this chart is explaining. And as you can see, they have all these extra specialized compartments inside of the cell to make up the cell. We don't have that as prokaryotic cells. Here we got the root definition of eukaryotic, which means true seeded nucleus. So somebody truly seeded these people into our reality.
Boom, you got to understand wordplay, and you got to really take this into account when you're reading. They're telling you the truth, but they want to sit here and give you a lie, also saying that, see, they give you the lie to say that we're all human, we're all one human race. That is false. Then they give you the truth right here, saying that a true seeded nucleus, because at one point in time, the entirety of the planet was all prokaryotic cells. Where did the eukaryotic cell come from? They're telling you it was seeded here. True seeded nucleus. It was seeded here. Who seeded the eukaryotic cell here?
Because Earth or the universe is just one big womb. It's the so-called black woman's womb. So somebody truly seeded them into this reality and said that they were organic to the planet or they were natural to the planet. See, this is where we have shit confused. Now when we go back to the chart, it says DNA wrapping on proteins, which are just amino acids, right? So it says eukaryotics wrap their DNA around proteins called histones. So let's dive into that. Here you have histones are proteins found in all eukaryotic animals. They're the primary proteins used to package DNA within the nucleus of cells, meaning they're present in humans, mammals, insects, and all other animals with complex cells. So-called black people, we don't have animal DNA and we're not humans. We are the soul or the sun walking in the flesh. So this is pertaining to one haplogroup, which is that so-called human race within themselves. Everybody outside the so-called black race, you see what I'm saying? Everybody who has a eukaryotic anatomy holds about 50 trillion cells. 25 trillion of those cells are eukaryotic cells, and the other half is the animal genetics that speak through one nucleus. You see what I'm saying? And this slows down the process of mitosis because you have all these different animal genetics within a cell asking for different proteins to better structure that cell. So the cell...
What he explaining right here, this is why they have a lot of complications when it comes to reproduction. This is why they have a lot of complications after when the baby is growing up. This is why all you see all these different weird diseases, viruses, things of that nature, because they have so many different types of animals in them. They're creating new different viruses. This is why they wiped out 2 continents filled with nothing but black people in Brazil. I believe it was Brazil and Australia. There was nothing but indigenous so-called melanated black people there, and they wiped those 2 continents out, or they wiped those 2 geographical locations out. They killed all the black people there with just venereal zoonotic diseases because they have all these different types of animals inside of their genetic makeup.
Doesn't know what it's formulating into. Now we're focusing on prokaryotic cells, which pertain to the so-called black race, no matter where we are on the globe. And here it tells you that we don't have no specialized compartments, nor do we have a nucleus. So you cannot cut into our cells and take genetic information in or out. And for the number of chromosomes, all of our genetic information stems from one embryological origin, which is the totipotent stem cell of the so-called black woman. And here you got the root definition of prokaryotic, which means before nucleus. And all so-called black people's...
And remember what he just stated when he looked up eukaryotic cell, it means true seeded nucleus. This is before the nucleus. This was here way before the eukaryotic cell. So, like I said, at one point in time in history, the entirety of the planet was composed of nothing but prokaryotic cells. How did we go from haploids to diploids? How did the eukaryotic cell get here? It doesn't make any sense.
Prokaryotic cells are coded in neuromelanin and programmed by neuromelanin. And neuromelanin is just a biochemical substance that our ancestors called the soul, and it's the liquid computer for your whole body. And as we come back to the chart, we go back to DNA wrapping on proteins. We already did the eukaryotic side. So when we look at the prokaryotic side, it says multiple proteins act together to fold and condense prokaryotic's DNA. And what is DNA? It's just the genetic material that you possess, the type of melanin that you have. And we have neuromelanin, which is condensed sunlight. So these prokaryotic cells help condense the sunlight within our bodies. And here you have binary fission and asexual reproduction by separation of the body into two new bodies. And this is how prokaryotic cells split inside the so-called black anatomy. And for the so-called black woman, she was able to perform this called parthenogenesis.
So when we get into chromosomes, remember the black woman is XX, black men are XY. She broke off a part of her genetic material in order for a mutation to occur so that the black man can actually be produced. Because at one point in time, there were nothing but black women on the planet. And then she created black men through what you would call binary fission right here, breaking off her X chromosome in order to create the Y chromosome. This undertook a mutation that created men today.
She was able to extract the selenium and zinc, the sperm, out of her bone marrows, and now activate her.
And boom, listen what he said, bone marrow. A couple years ago, they were trying to make fatherless babies by extracting through bone marrow. You can look this up. Look up babies through bone marrow. This is a real thing. Black women used to do this shit. She didn't need a man at one point in time.
Her own Bartholin glands and self-impregnate herself. And this is how she was able to undergo parthenogenesis. And here we have totipotent stem cells, and so-called black woman, no matter where she is at on the planet, she has these cells. And these cells possess the highest possible ability to construct an entire organism from a single cell. And these totipotent stem cells also have the capability to turn into any type of cell inside of an organism, including the extra embryonic membrane.
This is why they're taking your placenta. So-called black women, this is why they're taking your placenta after birth, things of that nature. This is why so many black children are going missing. This is why so many black women are going missing. They need those totipotent stem cells. This is why do you think billionaires, why do you think they're looking younger than ever? Totipotent stem cells. They're paying for shit like this. This can create any type of cell within the body. Why you think these niggas is looking so... Motherfuckers be 70 years old looking like they probably like 40 years old. Totipotent stem cells. This is how.
Such as the placenta. So when so-called black people start to tell the people that, yo, we're prokaryotic cells, it doesn't mean that we're just one cell. It means that everything that makes up my heart, all the cells that make up my heart, all the cells that make up my liver, all come from the same totipotent stem cell, the same embryological origin. So now you start to realize why all of our women start to go missing, why whenever they're in their medical institution giving birth, they try to take the placenta away, because we are life. You see what I'm saying? And we're the only people on the planet who are single cell organisms. Everybody else outside of us has eukaryotic cells. And it says here, prokaryotes were the only life form on Earth for millions of years until more complicated eukaryotic cells came into being through a process of evolution. And these scientists, the whole base premise of their evolution theory is that we went from haploids to diploids, that we were in a hot environment, being autotroph people, having no animal DNA, and now moving into a colder environment, and now being heterotroph people and having animal DNA. And now my body rejects the sun and I can't biosynthesize the sun. This is why scientists today don't know how we went from haploids to diploids. You see what I'm saying? Evolution that goes against time, it never happened. So again, how can y'all say y'all biologically identify with the planet? Because now this is what my people gonna have to start asking y'all. Where do y'all come from? What is your biological identification to the planet? Why does your body reject the sun? These are the type of questions we have to be asking them. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't naturally belong here. They don't belong here. Our women, our children are all going missing at an alarming rate by the same people who share their genetic makeup. So we need to start stepping up and knowing who we are down to the molecular.
All right, that's that for that video. I want to say shout out to Zell2 Raw. Shout out to my brother Zell2 Raw right here. Y'all go. Boom. What the boy? Where'd they go?
Periodic species.
Go subscribe to his YouTube. Go look at his videos. We're all waking up. So-called black people are waking up right now. We're not with the BS no more. You can't tell us that we came from no motherfucking monkey. You can't tell us that we're 3/5 of a human no more. You can't tell us that y'all came from us anymore. We're reading. We're comprehending now. Boom. Blood types are for breeding and mixing purposes only.
Sisters throughout the whole planet, as we are one prokaryotic species. As you can see today, we're talking about blood types and how they're for breeding and mixing purposes and entertainment purposes only. You see what I'm saying? These blood types are all connected to animals. And so-called black people, we don't produce animal DNA. And your phenotype is determined and connected to your red blood cells. And for so-called black people, around our blood cells that is attached to our blood cells is called antigens. And how they got there is through raping and through the food that we're eating today. And these antigens are foreign to the body, such as bacteria, viruses, and toxins. And these people have a whole different chemical based in us. And if you see two species in nature that are phenotypically and biologically and genetically different trying to procreate with each other, you will start to see diseases take place.
This is 100% fact. So this is why the so-called black woman has to get a RhoGAM shot before she can lay down with other races of men, because her lymphatic system will look at that child that he just seeded within her as a fucking threat and eliminate that nigga. So what did they do? They gave her a RhoGAM shot so that it can bypass it. So when she took the shot, her lymphatic system, the shot tells the lymphatic system, oh, let that shit pass. Let that shit slide. You feel what I'm saying? But naturally, we cannot even reproduce with these motherfuckers.
Which is how they were able to wipe out 2 continents alone with their reproductive system. And it says here your blood type is classified based on the presence or absence of certain antigens on the surface.
Boom, yeah, antigens are on that the surface of blood are red blood cells. Antigens is what makes a blood type. We don't even know what the fuck. We don't really even know what our we don't have any of this right here. And I know a lot of people said that the original blood type is type O and so-called black people were type O, but that's not necessarily true, because you can find animals in nature that have O blood type as well.
It's a red blood cells. So-called black people, we don't produce animal DNA, and all blood types are connected to animals. So if they were to enter our bloodstreams, our lymphatic system will see it as an antigen. So we're gonna do a little rundown of what animals actually have all of these blood types. You see what I'm saying? And it says here some species like monkeys and baboons have AB positive blood types. And they try to say these is antigens for them, but no, it's their genetic material that they have, the pheomelanin that they have produces these so-called proteins, but there will be antigens for us because it's foreign to our whole integumentary or whole vessel. You see what I'm saying? And here you got Rhesus monkey, which is where the Rh factor and Rh protein comes from, which is what determines if any of the blood types that I showed y'all earlier is positive or negative. So this is where they get it from. And so-called black people, I'm gonna keep saying this, we don't produce animal DNA. You see what I'm saying? So we see here that Rhesus monkey can have O positive.
So boom. So for all you complex cell organism motherfuckers out there saying, oh, I'm original, I have O blood type. Nigga, you just got rhesus monkey. I bet you're Rh positive. I bet you are, my nigga. Simple as that. You have this inside of your genetic makeup. That's why you have an O blood type. And for so-called black people that have this shit, you got this shit. You have antigens of this shit. You have antigens of this nigga's blood. Simple as that.
The blood types. Even pigs have A or O blood types, and all of these animals that I'm showing you guys on the screen, they are all spliced with these animals, which is why they have all close relations to these animals. Their whole integumentary system is porcelain based, is a mucus based. You see what I'm saying? This is why it says a gene and not a genetic analysis has shown that the porcine A gene is homo, which means the same to the A, B, and O genes in humans. Which is why you see that. Even here it says humans and zebrafish share 70% of the same genes, genetic material.
And if you know about the zebrafish, this is where a lot of your viruses and diseases stem from for so-called black people. Zebrafish, when they raped us, they gave us the antigens of the zebrafish. And as we're eating this destructive ass diet that we're not supposed to be eating, chicken, fish, beef, all that bullshit, now we're starting to develop these viruses and diseases. We're allowing them to manifest within us because we're not eating according to our genetic makeup.
Material as a zebrafish. You see what I'm saying? They share 70%, and 84% of the human genes known to be associated with human disease have a counterpart in zebrafish. So all the STDs, the hemolytic disease,
yep,
all these cancers, all come from the fact that these people raped us. You see what I'm saying? The Asian man, so-called, enslaved and raped us. The white tea man did that. The Arab man, they all did this for over a course of 1,200,000 years. And when they did this, they were adding antigens into our blood, weakening our lymphatic system, which allows parasites and toxins to flow through and allow all of these diseases to take place. And they dealt with us differently on different continents. Here we have antibodies, which are just proteins or structured amino acids produced by the immune system in response to foreign substances called antigens. They are designed to recognize, neutralize specific antigens and protect the body from infections and harmful substances. So how can those antibodies do that job when we're constantly eating food that these people are spliced with? All the meats, all the unprocessed food, the junk food.
Boom. So we can't even get rid of our antigens because your body has to focus on, first of all, like I said, breaking down that destructive ass diet, the meats, the cheeses, the bread, all this bullshit that we're not supposed to be putting in our body. Our body has to focus on trying to break that shit down and get it out of our fucking system. And half of that shit our body cannot break down because the hydrochloric acid within our stomach isn't even hot enough to break that shit down properly. So now it's just sitting in the gut, and now that shit is molding, turning into fungus, and now that's where you get your parasites from. Your bacteria within your stomach is pleomorphosizing into pleomorphosizing into parasites, so that now the parasites that got to go into that acidic ass environment that's in your motherfucking stomach. And now that has to do its job, but it's also eating away at the good shit that you need. And now, boom, now you got some more shit wrong with you. You feel what I'm saying?
Food that deteriorates our whole anatomy, and that adds on to the antigens. And now you're putting up more of a fight for your antibodies. And if you continue to sleep with them, that causes red blood cell hemolysis, hemolytic disease. And some gratitude to all my brothers.
All right, so like I said, check out Zell2Raw. Go look at his videos. That's an informative brother right there. Shout out to him. Let's move on. Boom.
Do you see that, Doc? That's how small you started off. That's you. You started off like that. Well, technically, y'all didn't start off like that. However, you started off more so like that. You're a little bit bigger. You're a little bit bigger because your cells, complex cells, are much bigger than prokaryotic cells because of the genetic information that's in there. So you started off like that. That's how you started off. And then you grew after the gestation period inside your a makeshift cul-de-sac or a mother's womb, a mother's stomach. You formulated into this. And then you have your skin color, your organs, your hair, your phenotype came along with that. But it's not about skin color. It's about the genetics that makes up the skin color.
Exactly. It's about genetics. When people are saying, "Oh, you think because you're black and I'm white, you're natural to the planet." No, it's not about that. It's about genetics. Every time you bring up genetics to the complex cell organism, it's like they cannot comprehend. I'm not sure if it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know what it is, but they cannot seem to grasp reality when it comes to genetics. We're not talking about skin color. We're talking about what makes up skin color, aka genetics.
Color. So I know that it's hard for you to grasp that, and I know it's hard for you, those that do grasp it, to try to switch black people. It's skin color, man. It's about skin color. You're right, man. It's not about skin color. You're right. I know you don't. Your manipulating has worked for so long that it's really disheartening to you now that we're actually reading. We're actually becoming self-aware. We're actually paying attention to things, and we're actually reading. That's the one thing. So, and because we're doing that, your manipulating is no longer working. It does work on some of us. Clearly it does. And I'm going to show you an individual how it worked on, that he literally felt so hurt and surprised that you all were sticking together with racism and literally condoning it. I'm so confused. You don't even understand. I want to take him to, there was a white man that told a black man, he was in Virginia. He said, there's a hanging tree in your yard. And he got mad and upset. I mean, he's so surprised.
Boom. So I used what I want to use from that video. So-called other races, complex cell organism, eukaryotic cell, whatever you want to call these motherfuckers. It is not about skin color. Fuck skin color. That does not matter. We're talking about genetics, what makes up the skin color. I know it's hard, but try to grasp that. We're not talking about skin color. Skin color, y'all care about skin color. We give a fuck about genetics. So boom. Boom. Hopi prophecy. Let's go.
Not far behind the twins will come the purifier, the red star Kachino, who will bring the day of purification. On this day, the earth, her creatures, and all lives as we know it will change forever. There will be messengers that will precede the coming of the purifier. They will leave messages on those on earth who remember the old ways. The messages will be found written in the living stones, through the sacred grains, and even the waters. Crop circles have been found in ice. The purifier will issue forth a great red light. All things will change in their manner of being. Every living thing will be offered the opportunity to change from the largest to the smallest thing. Those who return to the ways given to us in the original teachings and live a natural way of life will not be touched by the coming purifier. So just so you know, it's very possible to live two realities where it can rain on your home and it'll be sunshine on mine, based on the vibration or the frequency that is in my home and in yours. And they will survive and build a new world. Only in the ancient teachings will the ability to understand the message be found. So you must study. It is important to understand that these messages will be found upon every living thing, even within our bodies, your DNA, even within the drop of blood. All life forms will receive the message from the twins, those that fly, the plants, even the rabbits. And if you notice on the news, they say they see cows walking in perfect straight lines, or some of them just circling, just in a continuous circle and don't stop for days.
Y'all been seeing nature act crazy for the last couple of years, ever since 2017. That solar, not that solar eclipse, but that world eclipse in 2017, you've been seeing nature act crazy. Not crazy, they're acting how they supposed to. But they're not acting what we would consider normal. You've been seeing this for years now.
Days. The appearance of the twins begin a period of 7 years, which will be the final opportunity to change our ways. Everything we experience is all a matter of choice. We've all been given free will. Many will appear to have lost their souls in these final days. So intense will the nature of the changes be that those who are weak in spiritual awareness will go insane, for we are nothing without spirit. So when you see all these people with these cases of mental illnesses and they're giving them different names, it's all the same thing. You have not been fulfilled. You've lived a physical life and you're a spiritual being having a physical experience. Your spirit is in conflict with your physical. And that's what they call your mental illness. They will disappear, for they are just hollow vessels for anything to use. If you don't fill the vessel with spirit and belief, then you are open for more non-benevolent beings to jump right inside you. Life will be so bad in the cities that many will choose to leave this plane in whole groups. Only those who return to the old ways will be able to find peace of mind. For in the earth we shall find relief from the madness that will be all around us. It will be a very hard time for women and children. So all you women talking about you don't need no man, I'm telling you right now, you better buckle up, for they will be shunned and men.
Pause. I'm going to pause that. Now, mind you, this is the Hopi text that say this. This is many, many sunrises ago. I'm not saying this. It just sound like this shit sound like I'm saying it. But let it go.
The children in these times will be unnatural, some being from the stars, some from past worlds, and some will be even created by men. You think clones is a lie? Even the Hopi prophecy knew they were going to clone each other. Some will be created by men in an unnatural manner and will be soulless. Many of the people in this time will be empty in spirit. They will have sampaku, meaning no life force in their eyes. As we get close to the time of the arrival of the purifier, there will be those who walk as ghosts through the cities. Through the canyons, they will have constructed their man-made mountains. Those that walk through these places will be very heavy in their walk. It will appear almost painful as they take each step, for they will be disconnected from their spirit and earth. After the arrival of the twins, they will begin to vanish before your eyes like much smoke. Others will have great deformities, both in mind and upon the bodies. There will be those who will walk in the body that are not from this reality. Remember, they're getting you prepared for aliens now, because they know these things are coming.
So look, they've been like last video. I showed you with the mothership. And also in the last video, I showed you beings that were in Peru terrorizing. This shit is here. This shit is here right now. All I can say is buckle up.
For many of the gateways that once protected us will be open. The shield that has protected the earth above and below will be open. So you're going to get
the shield, aka the magnetic field in the ozone layer. What did he just say? That shit's going to be open up. There's no protection from the sun anymore.
What they call UFOs coming from up top, and you're going to get creatures from the second dimension coming up top. There will be much confusion between the sexes. This is definitely straightforward today, where now they're telling you there's another sex other than male and female. And I got to look at a man and I got to call him a woman. There'll be confusion between the sexes.
Now, listen to this. Now, mind you, how did the Hopi know this? It would be this devastating. Listen.
And the children and their elders. Life will get very perverted. There will be little social order in these times. Many will ask for the mountains themselves to fall upon them just to end their misery. Still, others will appear as if untouched by what is occurring. The ones who remember the original teachings and have reconnected their hearts and spirit. Again, we can live two realities. Not because Rome is falling on you means it's going to fall on me. Because what would be my reward for following the orders of the Father and the order of the universe? Those who remember who their mother and father is. When the purifier comes, we will see him first as a small red star, which will come very close and sit in our heavens watching us to see how well we have remembered the sacred teachings. This purifier will show us many miraculous signs in our heavens. In this way, we will know the Creator is not a dream. Even those who do not feel their connection with spirit will see the face of the Creator across the sky. Things unseen will be felt very strongly. Many things will begin to occur that will not make sense, for reality will be shifted back in and out of the dream state. There will be many doorways to the lower world that will open up at this time. The lower world is the second dimension. Things long forgotten will come back to remind us of past creations. All scientific experiments with DNA of animal and man and all those creatures created, you're going to see them. All living things will want to be present for this day when time ends. And we enter forever the cycle of the fifth world, fifth dimension. We will receive many warnings allowing us to change our ways from below the earth as well as above. Then one morning in a moment, we will awaken to the red dawn. The sky.
So you see brothers and sisters out here telling you to stop eating the bullshit, get back on your shit, understand genetics. You see people are telling you, they're reminding you of yourself. They're reminding you of who you truly are. They're trying to light a fire up in your ass, but you keep putting it out with some water. So I would suggest all so-called melanated black people, I would urge you to look into genetics, get off the artificial food, and connect back with self. I really would urge y'all to do that.
I will be the color of blood. Many things will then begin to happen that right now we are not sure of their exact nature, for much of the reality will not be as it is now. There will be many strange beasts upon the earth in those days, some from the past and some that we have never seen. The nature of mankind will appear strange in these times when we walk between worlds, and we will house many spirits even within our bodies. After a time, we will again walk with our brothers from the stars and rebuild earth, but not until the purifier has left his mark upon the universe. No living thing will go untouched, here or in the heavens. The way through this time is said, it is to be found in our hearts, reuniting with our spiritual self, getting simple and returning to living with and upon the earth and in harmony with her creatures, remembering that we are the caretakers, the fire keepers of the spirit. Our relatives from the stars are coming to see how well we have fared on our journey. I'm not trying to convince you or nobody of nothing. What is, and what will be. My job is just to spark you. If it resonates with you, it does. If it doesn't, then it just doesn't. But the message has to be given.
Abundance.
So boom, with everything he just said, like I said, I would urge y'all to learn self. And like he said, if this resonates with you, you know what to do. If it don't, then keep doing you. It's simple as that. This is your experience. But remember, everything's interconnected. Like he said, nobody's coming to save you. Jesus, Muhammad, Yahweh, God, Allah, nobody's coming to save you. You heard them. They said that they're coming to see who remembers the old teachings, the old way. They ain't coming to save no niggas. I'm going to just be completely honest with y'all. Nobody's coming to save us. And the fact that, why would somebody have to come save you from a motherfucker who can't even deal with you physically? You don't like the way that the world is. You literally have the power to change it. You have the power to change that. If we all came together, so-called black people, we have the power to create a whole brand new reality for us. But we don't want to do that shit though. We believe that we have to go with the flow with this system out of fear because you believe that you die. I'm done with this video. We moving on, but like I said, if it resonates, it resonates. If it don't, then it just don't. Boom, let's get into this.
Showing that at the 6 weeks marker, that's when you see the sex determining region Y, which is SRY gene. This gene is Y. It says leak because it is found only in the Y chromosome. And the reason why it's only found in the Y chromosome, because the Y chromosome is the male chromosome. And this is what literally starts changing the physiological structure of the female genitals. You start literally seeing the change. And I'm going to show y'all pictures of this. It says the SRY gene is located on the short arm of the Y chromosome. This gene causes males gonadal development. See that all males start off as female. Males is nothing but a mutated female. And this is facts proven.
Like I just stated, we are nothing but women, but mutated. So like I said, the woman created man via mutation. She did that shit.
I don't care. You can bring your religious books. You can bring all of it all you want. This is straight up proven, sun up to sundown, with genes, with chromosomes, with cellular biology laboratories. This is proven. Everything start off aquatic female, then it changed to male if the Y gene intervenes. If the Y gene does not intervene and the female do not give 2/3 of her chromosomes over to the male, there will only be a planet full of females.
Exactly. So like I said, at one point in time in history, there was nothing but so-called black women on the planet. On the planet, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. We are just 2.8 less than the woman because we are a mutation. She had to give information in order to create us. This is why we have nipples and we cannot produce milk. This is why the scrotum sac looks like the ovaries. This is why the phallus is just an inverted clitoris. This is why we are like this. So no religious nigga can give me, oh, God created man and then he created woman out of the man's rib. No, that's bullshit, nigga. You know that shit. Stop it. The rib looks like DNA, bro. The rib looks like DNA. And if you know atoms is the building blocks of reality, and then you go to the Eve gene. Eve is just the Eve gene, bro. That's all. It's all metaphorical. I ain't never seen nothing in nature. A male in nature birth a motherfucking woman from his rib. I've yet to see that shit yet. Y'all religious niggas, let me know when you see it.
Showing you how important the male truly is. Then if we had to come into existence, that must mean our importance is damn good importance. Straight up. And it just shows you that the SR gene, it says it turns out that ovaries can. Now look, I want to show y'all something mentally. Remember, we can learn things through embryology. Embryology teaches us spiritual characteristics, it teaches us spiritual methodologies, and it teaches how to build oneself. Check this out. It says it turns out that ovaries can only remain ovaries, so the female can only remain the female, or the woman can only remain the woman, or the black goddess can only remain the black goddess by constantly suppressing their ability to become male. Oh, wait, boy. Oh, we showing you that your power is in your surrendering, woman. Your power is in your surrendering. Your power is in your support of the black.
Exactly. Your first God is your mother. I'm trying to tell y'all. Your first God is your mother. Y'all better start realizing it. It's a privilege for a so-called black man to be on this planet. It's a privilege. And like he said, we have a distinct importance of why we were expressed into this reality in the first place. So like I said, y'all niggas better fucking tighten up. I'ma just be completely, y'all men, tighten the fuck up, nigga.
Black man. If you don't support the black man, it's impossible for him to become male. If you don't surrender to it's impossible for him to become male. This says it right here. It turns out that the ovaries can only remain ovaries by constantly suppressing their ability to become male. See that? See, we got a lot of independent women out here, which is not a good thing. There's nothing about a black woman being independent. That's the most dumbest white supremacy weaponized tactic that I ever seen in my life, and is working like a charm. See, your power is in your submissiveness. And when I mean submissiveness, I don't mean that you're laying down to a low down dirty Negro. I mean that you understand you came first. You understand your creative power. You understand that all life come from your womb. You understand your your X chromosome, your XY chromosome, XX. You understand your power. And in order for you to actually make the man or support him to developing to who he's supposed to be, you will surrender yourself for he can be everything he need to be to make sure he's protecting and providing for you. And it says this in embryology. All we got to do is just study the embryo. See, look, nature teach us. See, religion, cool, but nature is going to teach us everything we need to know. And that's where religion come from. Religion come from body parts. Religion come from the organs. Religions come from the glandular highway. Religion come from studying the neurological aspects of the brain. Religion come from studying the melanin neurotransmitters. The religion come from studying the actual skeleton structure and bone structure of densities of black males and black women. That's why you start seeing God shaped like different body parts. You start seeing everything shaping like the body. Kundalini is the serpent. The serpent is the gut. The serpent is also the Kundalini shell, or the conduit for the energy to flow. What they call the spinal cord. The 12 cranium nerves is the 12 disciples. We talking about the temples, or what you would call the temples of the temple in Israel. Everything has something to do with the developing stage of your biochemical body. That's where religion comes from. So if we cut the middleman out and go straight to studying who we truly are, which is gods and goddesses, then we can create our own psychological blueprint and pathways and customs on how to be who we supposed to be, just by studying the simple genes and the simple cells and the growth and development structure of the black man and the black woman's body. So from studying embryology, I see that the female can only stay female the female can only stay a female as long as she is suppressing, or as long as she's surrendering herself to the male in the most positive, powerful way. I don't mean this in no.
So this shows black women. This shows how powerful you are. And even when you go down to the science of, y'all literally pick which sperm that you want to impregnate you. So remember, this should show a lot of y'all not here by mistake. You here on purpose. This ain't no mistake. You ain't just random. They try to make it seem like it's random. No, the black woman, she chooses what sperm enters the egg. She chooses which sperm she wants to enter the egg. And you know what she does after that? She slows down all other sperms and allows that specific sperm that she chose, give this nigga a head start. She gonna make sure he get in there, or she get in there by any means necessary. So you're not here on accident. Everybody's here for a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. So-called black people, I don't care. You don't got to be into genetics heavy. You don't have to be into the metaphysical heavy. You don't got to be into the diet part of it heavy. Everybody has a piece of the puzzle. Everybody in the so-called black race, everybody in the so-called black race, no matter if you're in Africa, no matter if you're in China, no matter if you're in Japan, no matter if you're in Australia, no matter if you're in the fucking UK, my nigga, you have a purpose. There's something you are here to do.
Degrading way at all. I know we come from Hebrew backgrounds, especially me, and I know how Hebrew men treat their wives. Well, some Hebrew men. I do not speak for all Hebrew men. There is good Hebrew men out there, but most of them, they treat them like they just a fly as shit on a wall or something. And we teach totally against that whatsoever. But we do believe in accountability, though, y'all. As African men, we believe in accountability and responsibility. All right. It says silence a single gene in a dote.
If y'all want to go watch the rest of this video, the destruction of the black family, psychological, physical, health crisis amongst black males. So this is by Yaki Awaken. Shout out to Yaki Awaken. If y'all want to go watch this whole entire 2-hour video, it's by Yaki Awaken. Here goes the title right here. Definitely go give that go check this out. Definitely go check that out. So boom, let's move on. Boom, we getting into melanin. Let's go.
You know what chemical really means? Chemical literally means Kemet Call. The study of the black molecule, or the study of the black dot, is what chemical actually means. Kemet Call. It's the key to life. It's the only molecule that condenses sunlight. It says the abstract and material substances that synchronizes your etheric and physical body to the universe, cosmic consciousness.
And like on the last video, the sister was saying that melanin, and even the brother, I believe, said that melanin is literally just condensed sunlight. It's the soul. And like I was telling you, light is information. So the etheric body would be what you would consider soul, and it merges into a physical body. So the soul condensed itself, right, in order to create melanin. We're just walking, we're the soul walking, but because it's condensed, it gives this fleshly type of appearance. So this is just the soul right here. We are the soul. The soul is not lying within us. Melanin is the soul. And once we start to become lighter and lighter and we're becoming less dense, the more you're going to see that sun or that soul express itself more.
So you have something called cosmic melanin, which is gas. That's why if you look in the sky, if you look between our sky and then once you get to the dome, before you get to that dome or that glass, that primordial water up there, yes. All of that is called gasified melanin. That's what you're looking at now. If you go outside right now, if it's dark, that's melanin. Black as night out there. It says made of gases, substance such as nitric oxide and carbon oxide, right? Then you have human melanin. All right, so this is what we have. We have neuromelanin and we have eomelanin. And it says it's made of millions of fractal crystals. So you have many different crystals in your body. Not only do you have trillions of magnetite crystals in your brain, but you have crystals around something. So this get deep. I ain't gonna go deep into it, but you have something called a cytoplasma, and then around the cytoplasma of the cell, you have this cholesterol that makes up the mucosa barrier of the cells. Inside of this cholesterol is made of fractional crystals, y'all. And that's why doing crystal work is so important. I got a whole lecture on that, y'all, because somebody been throwing shots saying that I can't prove that the chakras is real. And I overkilled it. That's how I beat a dead horse with that one. We'll probably do that tomorrow for real, because it's just so deep. But shows you how crystal work is really good for you, because it literally stimulates the crystals that's inside of each 150 trillion cells of your body. And then you have trillions of magnetites inside of your brain. This is how cell phones is able to work. This is how you get signals, everything. This is how you was able to pray, meditate. It all have to do with the crystals that's inside of our body. And then these crystals are melanin. Then you have botanical melanin, or what you'll call chlorophyll, which come from chloroplasts, which is a sign of melanin. Then you have eumelanin, which is made of liquid melanin that makes up the great percentage of your hemoglobin in your blood plasma. This is responsible for your skin color, the eumelanin. Then you have animal melanin that's made of pheomelanin, and it lacks eul and neuromelanin. Then you have the Caucasian people. They have melanin, but they lack them all. And this is the reason why the graphs are different and the hospital is getting treated different, y'all. And we get treated different when we in the hospital. I can't wait to Houston, man. I'm blowing the top off the building, family. All right, now this just talking about the photoprotection by melanin, a comparison of black and Caucasian skin. We already know about this. We don't have to go through this same thing. Y'all can play this back and look at it, but we know that our melanin is totally different than ours. And then we're just going to talk about sulfur melanin and how, they melanin have sulfur inside of it and ammonia in it. Our melanin have selenium and magnesium in it. So our melanin is even different than their melanin. Our melanin is totally different than their melanin. And if you heat up their melanin, it actually get cold. And if you warm their melanin, it actually get hot. And that explains why they like to run in the cold with tank tops and shorts on. That explains the ammonia sulfur smell you smell when they get wet and hot and all of these other different things. You see what I'm saying? So even our odor is different in races. And I got articles on that too. Even the odor is different. And the reaction to elements that creates the odor is different. What else we got? Now, this is going to be the last thing I talk about, and the rest I want to save.
If you want to go watch this video, it's also by Yaki. Is there a biological, psychological difference between black and white people? Great video. Go watch this whole entire thing. Shout out to Yaki as always. We moving on. Boom. Right here.
father, and then I go all the way back to my mother's 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 grandmother's 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 grandmother's, then who is that? And where did they come from? So we got to quit playing the game as everybody is the same and we all possess the same spirit and this and that, or, you know, they moved out of Africa and then they got stuck in the ice age and they was away from the sun for a long time. And that's the reason why they changed and had the white pigmentation. You got to get out of
Right, that's pseudoscience. That's what you would consider pseudoscience. That is false. There's pigmented flowers in Antarctica. First of all, it like my very first, go to my very first hour video that I created. A white man said out of his own mouth, it doesn't make sense for so-called black people to travel outside of Africa, outside of not just Africa, outside of a sunny climate, a sunny environment, and travel to the cold. It doesn't make any sense. And then why would we stay there? So-called black people, we do not like the motherfucking cold. We're sun people. We don't like the cold, nigga. So why the fuck? Why in the fuck would we why? Let me say this one more time. Why in the fuck would we go into a Antarctica or whatever cold environment they said we travel to and stay there for millions of years, and then on top of that our genetics changed because of cold? That doesn't make no damn sense. We gotta stop the bullshit. They only got us with that because we were not reading. We were just ingesting all their motherfucking lies. We're not doing that shit no more. We're reading, we're studying now.
that pseudoscience. That's bullshit. And anybody that's deep into science, anybody that's deep into studying, biology and studying cells and studying melanin, eumelanin, pheomelanin, neuromelanin, gasified melanin, cosmic melanin, studying these carbon sugar chain constituents, everybody know that y'all don't know what y'all talking about when y'all proving it. When y'all trying to prove that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you can't get along with them. I'm not here teaching separation. I'm not here teaching racism. I'm not here being prejudiced.
For me personally, I'm preaching separate. We need to separate from these motherfuckers. We can coexist. But so-called black people, we need to separate from these other people, because when you study their genetics, they had, like I said, they have all these different violent animals inside of their genetic makeup. They share 98% of their DNA with a chimpanzee that is a violent animal. This is why they're not safe to be around. Not saying that Susie down the street, Susie that work at Target, not saying that Susie at Target is gonna sit here and just all of a sudden want to just kill you, but from a historic standpoint, going back to history, and a biological standpoint, you're not gonna want to be around no motherfucking wild chimpanzee, right? And historically, looking back on what they did to our people, they are not safe to be around. We got to quit the bullshit. Just because they laying down with you and having children with you does not make them safe to be around.
I don't even own nothing like that or own the world to be racist or prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on here showing you that there's a biological difference between you, extraterrestrial God, and Neanderthals, which is every other race other than you. Period. So that means your healing will have to be different. That means your food will have to be different. That means who you lay with will have to be different, because you don't want to be going around laying with Neanderthals, do you? You don't want to be going around procreating with things that are mixed with chimpanzee and K9 DNA, do you? Wouldn't you want to keep the integrity of your stock alive and rich? Wouldn't you want to keep that stock alive, rich, and powerful? And we're going to show that even the vagina and the bacteria that makes up the vagina is different from the black woman and the Caucasian woman, the Asian woman and the Hispanic woman. So you don't want to be coming together and ejaculating, because you're vibrating at a different resonant frequency, a hormonal balance different than any other race. That charge that come from that staff, that shaft, that penis is only made to resonate with a black vagina. Period. It's not made to resonate with a Caucasian vagina, with an Asian vagina, with a Japanese vagina. Because your body, since you have this tonified melanin and this pigmentation melanin inside of you, plus it's binging off of zinc, copper, and gold, which is inside your intestinal tract, and that's inside your intestines. These things have their own frequency that is made for other African people. It's not made for anybody that's outside of your gene pool.
Exactly. Stop laying down outside of your species. You gotta stop that shit, bro. I'm gonna just be completely honest. I understand that a lot of us do not know, but you are held accountable once you do know. So if you know and you still performing these treacherous acts, then be ready for the consequences. Because species are not meant to mix with species.
If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some 9. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some 9s. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some 9s. And again, I'm not talking about nobody. And look, I'm even finna give Caucasians the minerals that they need to heal themselves, showing you. I'm just proving that we all different and we all need to heal in different ways. Because I see somebody on here saying I'm this hate speech. No, it's not. No, it's not. All right, okay, check it out. Let's keep it going. Y'all get it. Let's keep it going. All right. Wait till we get to these videos, y'all. It's gonna blow y'all mind, I'm telling you.
I think I need a little bit something else from this vid. Pretty sure. Oh, prokaryotic cell. Already explained that. What goes DNA. Already had that video. I'm trying to see if it's anything else that I need.
These are facts.
I hate how they don't show up.
It's gene sequence, nothing, and it's a 9-series DNA sequence too. And she go way back before Neanderthals, y'all. When they test it, and it's a black.
Ooh, let's go back. Let's get right here. Right here. Right here.
And black women, true. She has mitochondrial DNA within the possible variants for every kind of human being, which this is true. I'm gonna prove it. When the DNA of black women mutates, all other types of human beings come about. Oh boy, Mitochondria Eve. Mitochondria Eve. All right, it says in human genetics, the mitochondria Eve or the matrilineal most recent common ancestors, MRCA, in living humans, in all living humans. In other words, she is defined as the most recent woman from whom all humans descend, in or unbroken line purely through their mothers and through their mothers of their mothers back until all lines converge into one woman. This just saying she is the first prototype ever in existence, here in existence, y'all. Nothing predates her. Nothing predates this gene. Not male, not white female, not black male, not white male. Nothing in existence predates this gene sequence. Nothing. And it's a 9-series DNA sequence too. And she go way back before Neanderthals, y'all, when they test it. And it's a black woman. A straight black woman, y'all. And it's called the mitochondrial Eve gene. Y'all check this out. It'll blow y'all mind, y'all. And nothing predates her. Now, I'm not saying that if you go farther and they find new sands, they ain't gonna find no man or nothing like that. I'm saying as far as the evidence now and how everything lined up and how men have parts of their bodies that they can't use. Like, for instance, let me take this off real quick because it's finna get deeper. Let me take it because I got a question now. Because look.
So if y'all want to go watch this video, you can go to rumble.com or download Rumble on your phone and look up Yaki Awaken. The video is The Secret Connection Between African Americans, Extraterrestrials, and Healing. This is a great ass. I'm not gonna lie, I watched this whole thing probably 3 times. This is a great ass video right here. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Definitely give that shit a watch for sure. Let's move on. Boom. Let's go. Young Pharaoh.
For the last 2,160 years have been atomically composed of what is called carbon-12. Now, this is when everybody like to say 666, right? And let me give y'all the science if you don't know how carbon-12 is, because I say melanin is condensed sunlight all the time. Let me give y'all anatomically the formula of how melanin is condensed sunlight so that you can understand where carbon-7 is coming from. Rays from the sun come from outer space and they penetrate the atmosphere. And what happens is these rays come in contact with nitrogen-14 and nitrogen-12. And once these sun rays come in contact with nitrogen-14 and nitrogen-12, the nitrogen-14 and nitrogen-12, once combined with this electromagnetic, with the electromagnetic rays from the sun, combust and become carbon-14. So sunlight, melanin is not only condensed sunlight literally solidifies as it enters into the atmosphere and creates carbon-12. So 99.9% of all physical matter in the universe is carbon-12, because once nitrogen in all atmospheres comes in contact with sunlight, it condenses and combusts and becomes carbon-12. So now why is it important? The sun is heating up, all right? And the motherfucking sun, I can't say this enough, is hotter right now than it's ever been in.
And guess what? Shout out to my nigga Young Pharaoh. For first and foremost, shout out to my nigga Young Pharaoh. But he said this shit right here. I'm gonna assume he said this shit probably around 2020, maybe 2019, somewhere around there. Listen to what he's finna say. He's finna say that the sun is the hottest it's ever been in recorded history. Shit, nigga, that motherfucker been increasing year after year after year, and guess what? It's gonna keep getting hotter. The eukaryotic cell, the complex cell organism, is not going to be able to bring its ass outside anymore. You seen the motherfucking cows dying from the sun. You seen dogs don't even want to walk outside no more last summer. What the fuck you think's gonna happen this goddamn summer? Nigga, we the children of the motherfucking sun. We ain't had no goddamn, we ain't had no complications. You got motherfuckers who are eating against their genetic makeup that may have said, oh my God, it's hot. I told my sister, me and my sister walking into Kroger. I'm finna get me some fruits. She talking about, how you got a hoodie on? It's hot. I said, I looked at my phone, guess what? I said, it's only 81 degrees outside. I said, and then I broke it down to her. If your body is, what did they say, 97.6 or 98 point something, your body is 90 something degrees. How the fuck is you hot when it's only 80 degrees outside? Guess what she said? Damn, you got a point. I don't know. Yeah, I know you don't know, because you're eating against your genetic makeup. That's the only reason you feel hot during the summer. Stop eating the bullshit. You're eating bullshit that's making your body acidic, so you're feeling as if you're hot when the motherfucking sun comes out. The sun is trying to heal you. It's trying to purge all that shit out of your motherfucking body. That's all it's trying to do. Stop eating the bullshit, bro. We the motherfucking sun in the physical.
Recorded history. So with that being said, what's happening is the photons from the sun, not a proton, because a lot of y'all think I'm saying proton. No, photons. Photons are pure light. Photons are matter and antimatter combined, which is only found on the tip end of a sun ray. So photon is the purest form of light. So a photon would be like a motherfucking lightsaber if it was physical. So with that being said, the photons from the sun are so motherfucking hot that as the sun rays are coming in contact with nitrogen now, it's a different frequency and a different density. So now the carbon is becoming radioactive. And radioactive just means when an atom is unstable. Now when an atom becomes unstable, in order to stabilize itself, it has to give away an electron. But the photons now are so hot, there's no chemical element in our atmosphere that can actually sustain that radiation. So in order for the atoms to become radioactive now, they have to give away neutrons, So if you deal with chemistry, you know that that's motherfucking unheard of. You ain't never, that's like hearing about a motherfucker legs transforming where his arms is and his arms going where his goddamn legs. That's some unheard of shit. What's happening is carbon 12, which is 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, is giving away 5 neutrons just to be able to sustain itself and become non-radioactive. So what's happening is we're going from carbon 12 to what's chemically deemed carbon 7. Now carbon 7 is 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 1 neutron. Now why is this important and why is this happening? Because the sun, as y'all hear me say over and over, is pulling the 9 planets around the galaxy. It takes us 24,920 years to travel through all 12 zodiac signs. We spend 2,160 years in each zodiac sign. Each zodiac sign is just a star system in a particular that forms a particular pattern that the sun travels through. And these stars, remember, each star is a sun. These suns are emitting electromagnetic waves, aka heat, upon our planet as we travel through. Now, the Aquarian age star system, or the zodiac known as Aquarius, that star spectrum is actually so hot that we have to be at a lighter density to exist within it for the next 2,160 years. So remember, I told you, sunlight that comes into the atmosphere hits nitrogen, and that becomes carbon. But it's no longer becoming carbon-12, it's becoming carbon-7. So what's happening is everything on the planet Earth is becoming atomically recomposed. So the age of Aquarius is what? They call it the age of spiritual enlightenment, the age of spirituality. Your Kundalini chakra system, your 7 main chakras, the lower 6 from your third eye and down, because remember, your 7th chakra is your crown chakra, that's neutral. Your third eye and down, your 6 chakras, are ruled by the left hemisphere of your body, which is electrons, aka feminine energy. The other half of the 6 chakras is ruled by your right side of your body, which is protons, which is masculine energy. So you have 6 chakras. Half of the 6 chakras is ruled by electrons. Half of the other 6 chakras is ruled by protons. And then you have the one neutral chakra, which is crown chakra, which is a neutron. So carbon-7 is actually the physical molecular formula for the spirit to be housed in a new biological system that we call the body. So when we talk about evolution, there is no evolution in the terms that motherfuckers think we come from monkeys. Evolution is predicated biologically upon light. Depending upon what spectrum of light you live in, your body will biologically recompose itself in order to fit that existence. Period. If you went to go live in the motherfucking, when we talk about giants and motherfuckers being on the earth, why we don't see that today? Because the air pressure is different. When motherfuckers want to talk about dinosaurs and shit like that, why nobody never say, damn, what was the oxygen level? Because if you go check the oxygen level millions of years ago, it was more dense. So shit was bigger. Now it's lighter. Shit is smaller. I'll give you an example. When my older cousins was in 8th grade, high schoolers look like college students. They have beards, all kinds of shit. When I got to motherfucking 8th grade, high schoolers look like me. Now, high schoolers look like goddamn 5th graders. So why is this important? Because as generations and generations and generations are coming out of the womb of our black women, they're coming out with more density in their DNA. Each DNA strand is activated by a density of light. So for every one density level, you get 2 strands activated. This is why when I say the white man only has 2 strands of DNA, it's because he can't get past the first level of density. Okay? We have 24 strands of DNA in 12 pairs. So with that being said, right now, black people have a minimum of 10 strands available to them because we're being elevated into a 5th dimension. 5th dimension is what? An angle of light. Another density level that we're getting from the age of Aquarius. What's the angle of light that you're away from? So when you get to winter, you're at the bottom of the sun. So the sunlight is not really hitting the majority of certain sections on the globe. So we experience 90 days of 33 and below weather, aka wintertime. So understand, every day your reality is just determined by mathematics and electromagnetics. You got to do the science. And your DNA is turned on or the fuck off depending upon how much light it is exposed to.
So boom, my last video, it was the video of the man talking about we're going through different photon belts, and according to how we go through, we're going through a periodic time of straight light, and that we were gonna undergo a change. So this is basically goes into with that. We are changing on a molecular level. We're not gonna be the same. We have to undergo a change because we're going into an age of light. We're going into a solar cycle. So therefore, the solar people, the sun people, you feel what I'm saying, have to undergo a change so that now our DNA is going to be more expressed. Like I said, we're dense right now. We're becoming lighter. You feel what I'm saying? And we're becoming lighter because the sun, we're being exposed to more sunlight. That's all that is. But let's go ahead and move on. Boom, let's go.
That the reason why the earth can even stand is because of that magnetic force that is running through our body. What if I tell you that black people don't follow the laws of gravity? The laws of gravity follow us. It bows to us. If we were to leave this earth right now, every star, every celestial body, and the horizon will follow us to wherever we go. There's going to come a time when that sun is going to make noise. And that noise is going to cause our eyes to turn colors. That noise is going to cause our skin to get darker. That noise is going to cause our DNA to give off a pheromone type of energy, right, to the soil that will cause certain things to rise in our bodies. There will come a time where the moon will not be able to move the waters anymore, because those people, those entities who are connected to the moon will soon fall victim to energy in the soil. We are allowing them to borrow energy in their satellite, which is the moon, which gives them the consciousness of where they at. If every black person was to leave this earth, that moon will fall. If every black person was to leave this earth, the sun will follow us to wherever we go, because that sun is connected to every single one of us. Our tentacles from our brain is connected to the sun. So we all get together and chant earthquake. If we all get together and chant tornadoes, this is what would occur. We are the true HAARP system. They built the weather. See, they built a machine that controls weather, which we call HAARP. But they built it based on what they studied in our DNA.
And not even just with that, the camera is our eyes, vehicles or how we move. What else you got? Oh, headphones, things that every one of their so-called creations is just a reflection of us. Not saying every single goddamn creation, but a lot of the shit that we use, a computer is our brain. I mean, they studied our genetics in order to create new inventions, and we think that these inventions are just oh so amazing, but nigga, they got it from your genetics. You feel what I'm saying? They got this shit from your genetics. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Shout out to this brother right here. I'm not sure what his name is. Shout out to this brother though. Powerful words. Boom. Everybody's waking up. We not like I said, we're not falling for the bullshit no more. Let's go.
Only black people with the darkest black skin are the only humans on earth to possess 100% of a human's DNA. Everybody else have some animal and beast in them.
If you're not so-called black, you are that animal, you are that beast. Simple as that. The complex cell organism is not us. We are not complex. We are prokaryotic cells. We are simple single-celled organisms. We are not these other people. Do not let them play on your consciousness. Do not let them hit you with the, oh, we need to love everybody. We're all the same, God, man. No, that shit is false, my nigga. We are not these people. Do not let them lie to you anymore, my people. Do not let these niggas lie. They love the cognitive dissonance. Like they can't process when we start to get into genetics and we start to really throw this shit around. They want to call you hatred. They want to say that you're racist. They want to say that you're a black supremacist. They want to call you all these things, but they are not addressing the facts of the situation. How did all these different types of animals come together and give genetic information from each of themselves in order to create them? How the fuck did that happen, my people? You have to sit down and really think. No, I want you to sit down. Cut all the fucking distractions. Get the fucking a quiet room. I want you to think. How the fuck did they get here? How did all these animals get inside of their genetic makeup? I need y'all to really think.
That's why their hair don't grow like our hair. That's why their hair grows straight like a monkey. It goes straight like a dog. It goes straight like a sheep. They don't nap. It don't kink. It don't kank. It don't kink, it don't kank. So if you think I'm lying, just study science. Science will prove that black skin, the darker your skin is, the blacker you are, that is evidence that you are 100% human. The lighter your skin are, you ain't 100%, baby.
Hey, what he said? You ain't 100%. And if you truly start to get deeper into their motherfucking genetics, look up incomplete dominance. They're not 100% of anything, my people. We're 100% of us. You feel what I'm saying? But when you go inside of their genetic makeup, the percentages of animals' DNA inside of them varies because of incomplete dominance. They're not 100% of anything. So guess what, nigga? You ain't 100%. I know that shit hurts. I know it stings. I know it hurts. It hurts because of the lie that you tried to uphold. I know it hurts when you hear the truth. I know the truth hurts you. I understand that. But guess what? We ain't got time for no motherfucking lies no more. We're going into straight truth. Fuck lies, my nigga. Fuck lies. Let's move on. Boom, parasites.
Just like fruit flies and nets come from within the fruit, you will notice inside of each individual cell, you will find something moving around inside these cancerous cells, eating away at the anatomy of the cells, eating the iron phosphate out of the cells, eating the glucose factors out of the cells, eating the fructose factors out of the cells, eating the light code frequency that we're going to call carbon oxygen 2 constituents, or what you call CO2, up out of the cell. Every disease you're talking about, you have an evil entity that has manifested in a parasite that is inside of your body. A lot of people walking around with big guts and think that's food. No, you have a cesspool full of dead worms, fluke worms, hook worms, canker worms, tapeworms, hammerhead worms, Fasciolopsis bullski, hemith worm, toxoplasma, all types of Trinidad, which causes chlamydia and gonorrhea.
And all these are coming from within you because of the foods that you are eating. It's causing your bacteria in your stomach that's naturally supposed to be there to help the pleomorphosize and change into these worms, because the environment in your body is not how it's supposed to be. The environment of your body is so goddamn toxic that you had to create these motherfuckers right here in order to, you feel me, clean that shit up. But it's also doing harm to your motherfucking body. It's doing harm to your motherfucking body. It's as simple as that. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you.
All these different things I'm talking about is...
And actually, if you want to learn more about this, look up Yaki Awaken on YouTube and put parasites beside his name. He has a lot of videos talking about parasites. I'm going to move on. But like I said, we got to get off the fucking diet. I'm just going to be completely honest with y'all. I can't stress this enough. We're not supposed to be eating this destructive ass diet. I know it's hard for you to let go because of parasites, because of addictions. You have no discipline within yourself. Start to discipline yourself. Now, boom, let's move on. Haploids versus diploids. So-called black people, we are haploids. All other races are what you would consider diploids, meaning they have 2 sets of chromosomes. We only have 1 single set of chromosomes. At one point in time, see, if you look at if you look at male bees, wasps, and ants, they are all what you would consider haploids. So my thing is, we used to be haploids as well. We predate these. Let me say that one more time. We predate wasps, ants, and bees. So how in the fuck is it all of a sudden? How the fuck? I'm confused. You feel me? You feel me? How the fuck do we predate these animals and all of a sudden we are considered diploids too? That doesn't make sense. Like I said, boom, you go over here. Prokaryotic cells are haploids. This is us, my people. We are prokaryotic cells. So therefore, we are haploids. We have single set of chromosomes. We don't have all that. We don't have all these different copies of fucking chromosomes. That shit don't make no fucking sense. You feel me? That shit don't make no sense. We have a single set of chromosomes. How did we? I want somebody to answer this. Any scientist, biologist, chemist, biochemist, whatever. Anybody within that field, any doctor, anybody who can explain this. How did we go from haploids to diploids? Because so-called black people, we are prokaryotic cells. We are. We're just not. We're not gonna bullshit anymore because we don't have any type of animal DNA. So how did we go from haploids to diploids? You want to know the answer? We didn't. We're still fucking haploids. That's the fucking. I mean, come on, bro. And boom, you go to allele chromosome. This was what I was explaining, the multiple different sets of chromosomes, which means they have 2 copies of the genes. So let me read it. These 2 copies of the gene contained in your chromosomes influence the way your cells work. So they say humans are called diploid organisms because they have 2 alleles at each genetic locus, with 1 allele inherited from each parent. Each pair of alleles represents the genotype of a specific gene. So what is it? Represents the genotype of a specific gene. When I read that, how I comprehend that, first of all, with me understanding that these people have different animals within their DNA, within their genetics, and then they come out to say diploid, motherfuckers with diploids, meaning 2 multiple sets of chromosomes. Look at it like this. Boom. When I see specific gene, what are they talking about? Are they talking about the monkey gene? Are they talking about the motherfucking fruit fly gene? Or are they talking about the motherfucking canine gene? What gene is you talking about? What gene are they talking about? Honestly. I'm just gonna be honest, but that's gonna be the end of the video. I just want my people, I want y'all to think for yourselves. Fuck what anybody else says. Fuck what anybody else is telling you. I don't want to push any type of narrative on you. I want to light a fire up your ass so you can go look up this shit for yourself. I don't want to tell you. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want you to do that shit. I want you to look this shit up for yourself, and I want you to come to your own conclusion, because you have your own mind, and like I said, everybody has a part to play. So I need you to really understand you. I need you to look inside of you. You feel what I'm saying? As simple as that. I really need y'all to look at you, because we all have our own mind. We all have our own brain. We don't gotta be eye to eye, but we have to be heart to heart. So let's separate from these obviously artificial people, meaning that they're a created, put together organism. Let's separate from them, and then we can have discussions amongst each other. But the first things first, we have to separate from these people. Abundance and gratitude to every brother or sister's video that I used today. Abundance and gratitude to all the brothers and sisters out there that are speaking nothing but truth. Abundance and gratitude to all the brothers and sisters who want change for themselves. Y'all are an inspiration. I'm gonna be complete. You're an inspiration to me. When I see y'all's vids, that makes me want to do motherfucking better. Y'all help me hold myself accountable. So I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate all my brothers and sisters that watch these videos. I appreciate y'all, because it shows that you want to actually learn truth. Whether you believe this or not, the fact that you're actually out there trying to learn truth, I appreciate that. So keep doing you, keep striving. Until next time.